morning. Welcome back to my channel. This is Yoga with Noel. Today's practice is about power, strength, and a little bit of heat. So let's get started. We're going to come down to a nice comfortable seated position. Whatever feels good for you, as always, you're finding that first and working from there. So settle into your mat, and then you can go ahead and close the eyes if it feels right. Let the hands fall. And we're going to begin today's practice by guiding our breath in and out through the nose. So it's a deep, audible inhale in through the nostrils and then right back out. Almost a slight hum in the back of the throat as you breathe. And with this nice strong breath, we're building a heat, we're building a power within ourselves that we can use to fuel our practice. Find your connection. Find your connection to your breath, to your body, to your mind. And let everything else go for the moment. Truly being anchored to the present and your practice. With every inhale, you're sitting up nice and tall, finding length through the full spine. Every exhale, you're grounding down into the parts of the body that are making contact with the mat. Building your foundation, building your trust to your body, to your practice. Inhale, reach the hands up high. Go for a nice big stretch. Lifting the pit of the belly in and up, and then the palms can come to touch, prayer position. Hands come to the heart center. Maybe acknowledge the heart beating. Pulling in internally, inward to yourself. Letting yourself know that you're here, that you have that power and strength that you need within yourself already. Everything you are as you show up here on the mat today is enough. Another inhale, we'll reach the hands up high, sweep them up overhead. Exhale, hands down by the sides, and we're going to rock forward into a tabletop position. We won't be here for long, so we're just coming on down onto all fours. Pressing the hands and the tops of the feet into the mat, and we're engaging the core. From here, you can begin to shift back, just a little lean into the hips, and then a rock forward. Pressing into the hands, noticing how it feels as you hinge through the hips and then shift into the wrists, distributing your weight forward and back. Follow your breath as you do so. An inhale lifts you and an exhale drops. Keeping the pit of the belly in and up the whole time. Last one. And then you can go ahead and press into the hands, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. A little pedal of the legs, a little movement if you need it. Still finding that full breath connection. Sending your breath to your whole body. We're going to carefully and gently put a little bend in the knees. Looking in between the hands. It's a hop or a step up to the top of the mat. A little fold once you're there, and then inhale, roll all the way up. Reaching high for extended mountain. All the way to the fingertips, spread the fingers and hands wide, and then exhale, forward fold. Lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, roll all the way back up. Reaching. Nice and high with the hands. Pit of the belly draws inward and up, and then you're going to exhale, sink down to chair pose. So it's a hinge through the hips as you press into the feet. Dropping the hips back, but keeping the chest lifted and forward. You're building a heat of power in the legs as you drop down. Grounding the feet into the mat. The rest of the body lifts. Tell yourself you've got this, and then stay here for one more full breath. Breathe in. Breathe out, dive down, forward fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Press the hands into the legs, straightening out the spine. Exhale, forward fold, planting the hands into the mat. Step the feet back for plank pose. Keeping the shoulders above the wrists. The hips are lifted, the core is tight, lower down. Lifting up as you untuck the toes, cobra or up dog. And then round the spine back for downward facing dog. Lift up the right leg, send it straight back behind you, and then pull it right through your center. Planting it in between the hands, you're rising up for a high lunge. So go ahead and reach up. Here in a high lunge, we want that knee above the ankle. Bending to about a 90-degree angle as best you can, and then the back left toes ground down into the mat, the heel lifts. Lunging forward. Exhale, drop the hands down by the sides. Palms forward, fingertips back, leaning into it. Everything's engaged, the legs hug in to keep you here. Inhale, sweep the hands high. Exhale, hands through to the heart center. Take a right side twist, so drop the elbow over the knee, twist open. Wringing out the spine of everything you don't need anymore. Tension, stress, negativity, let it all go. Unwind, back to center, lift up, breathe in. Exhale, all the way down to the mat, plank pose. Foot goes back, lower down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take this moment in down dog to check in. Notice that heat, that strength you're building. Lift up the left leg, send it high, straight back behind you. And then inhale, pull it in. Left side high lunge, plant the left foot at the top of the mat. Grounding into the right back toes, lift and rise. High lunge. Arms extend. Upper body to the front of the mat. Exhale, hands float down by the sides. Drawing the fingertips back behind you, lean forward, dropping the crown of the head. Inhale, sweep high with the hands back into your lunge. Lift up and then exhale, hands through to heart center. Twist open. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, drop the hands down to the mat, plank pose. Keep the body high, pushing away from the mat, and then lower down with the elbows close by the sides. Find your strength. Use it to push you back into downward facing dog. Press into the hands and the feet. Carefully bend the knees just slightly, looking up in between the hands. A little hop or step all the way up. Fold and then rise up all the way. Lifting high into extended mountain, and then the hands can pull through to the heart center. From here, take a nice deep breath in and a full exhale. Following your breath. We're going to take a low yogi squat, so maybe the feet are just a little bit wider than hip width distance. The heels can come in slightly and the toes can point out just a little bit. And then from here, you'll begin to exhale, dropping the hips as you bend the knees. If you can, you'll drop down all the way, tucking the elbows into the knees, pushing open as the palms push together, breathing into the hips. Big inhale, rise up. Use the legs to lift you, rooting down, rising up. You can heel toe the feet in. From here, we'll exhale, we'll dive down, forward fold. Lifting up halfway, flatten out the back. Exhale to fold, placing the hands onto the mat. We're just going to drop down to a nice comfortable seated position. With the sits bones in the mat, the legs are extended and the feet are into the ground. Your hands can slide in back behind the knees, and we're going to rock into boat pose. So inhale, lift up, lean back, lift the legs. You can stay here with the hands as support. If you'd like to, you can take them out to the sides. Core is engaged. The farther you lean back, the more engagement you'll have in your core. Build your strength. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, let the whole body fall to the mat. Nice and slow. And everything can rest down on the mat. Hands by the sides. Feet can fall open. And the eyes can fall shut. Beginning to breathe your natural breath, letting it happen however it needs to. On every inhale, you pull inward in towards your own center, and every exhale relaxes each muscle down, farther into the mat below you. Creating your own definition of deep rest. Allowing yourself to truly be present within your practice. Acknowledging the strength that you've built today, the heat and the power that's within you. As always, you can stay as long as you need here. with acknowledgement, gratitude, and thanks, I say namaste.